Hello and welcome. This is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. This channel evaluates all aspects of true crime. As you are aware, videos and live streams in this genre often discuss elements of crime that may be disturbing to some viewers. If necessary, take the precautions needed to avoid these feelings. Factual information related to cases is the key to fostering rational true crime discussions. Fortunately, you will find that here. Please hit the like button only once, share the video, and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you very much for watching.
Huh? It's the house!
5 brain cells, 4 aren't working.
Come on, man. What's wrong with you?
Did you hear what I said?
Huh?
Did you hear what I said?
It's the house!
There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
What's going on, freaks? No, haven't seen it, Shadow Aspect. Not interested. Thanks. Alright, let's see. Alright, well, here we go. Savannah Guthrie just did another, well, she did not another, she did her first interview since, I think it must be much longer than we saw, but they put out a portion of it, of the interview. Yeah, like, ooh, Coburg in a DMV, wow, ooh. Wow, he's standing in a DMV now. Woohoo! Wow, that's so interesting. How does it help solve the case? You know, like put together the puzzle. It doesn't. Doesn't have anything to do with anything. Just like the Albertson, the Costco video had nothing to do with anything. It was just, you know, there he is, you know. Here's the Instagram. Let me.
We are in agony.
Sucks that it doesn't start playing. You know, you always have to, and you can't even rewind it.
Do the right thing. We are in agony.
Yeah.
We are in.
Who's this lady that's like interviewing? Just over and over and over. How about you just let her say what she's saying?
Agony. It is unbearable. And to think of what she went through. I wake up every night, in the middle of the night. Every night.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That right there is exactly why they're willing to pay to even just to find out where her body is, because that's how they're going to feel for the rest of their lives.
And in the darkness, I imagine her terror. And it is unthinkable, but those thoughts demand to be thought.
Yeah.
And I will not hide my face. That she needs to come home now.
Yes.
Someone needs to do the right thing. We are.
Now, so anyways, they cut the, you know, there's obviously more to it. Maybe they'll put more of it out. But,
are in agony.
yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. Remember her second one. I mean, we can actually go to, let's see. I don't know if it's her home. Let me just type in. Yeah, I mean, it really sounds, I think it's this one right here.
We received your message, and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay. We received your message, and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay. We received your message, and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Yeah. See, that's kind of the same what she's saying. See, now they're not able, they wanted to pay to get her body back because it was the only way that they would have peace. And then you watch the new interview, and that's exactly the outcome is what we're seeing. You know, when you watch this one, it's, I'm not sure if it plays anymore, but a minute ago, I have the link somewhere. This one right here.
Someone needs to do the right thing. We are in agony.
Yeah.
We are in agony. It is unbearable. And to think of what she went through. I wake up every night, in the middle of the night, every night. And in the darkness, I imagine her terror. And it is unthinkable, but those thoughts demand to be thought.
Yeah.
And I will not hide my face. But she needs to come home now.
Yes.
Someone.
Right. So it's kind of like the last two have been sort of this continuation of the same thing. They're really just trying to plead to the person out there to give them their, you know, at least let us know where her body is so that we can say goodbye to her and have peace knowing where she is. That's it. Yeah. So if there's nothing's really changed. You know, maybe she'll give out some factual information in a video or something. Who knows? But hey guys, if you're watching the show, if you have the ability to help support the channel like Wild Bill Wassman did up there, that would be fantastic. All right. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So then I wanted to go over, that's all there is on that. I don't really have any, I'm not going to sit here and just keep discussing her interview for 15, 25 minutes, when there's just, it's no different than any other. I don't know why you wouldn't just release the entire interview right away. I mean, I don't know why there needs to be sort of revenue thoughts about it, like, ooh, yeah, if we put it out in 2 parts, we can really get a lot of, that kind of crap bothers me, just put out what you got because that is, it's important, right? Yeah, I think, well, I mean, if you want to know people making bank, like JLR has made probably, I would say, gosh, I don't know, at least $70,000 during this. You know, I mean, it's just a massive amount for a YouTuber. Hey, thanks, Sheryl Bullock. I mean, I would be shocked if it was more than that. I think it's more like over 100,000, because you get like 500,000 views on a live stream. The ad revenue on that's in the thousands each time, and you did like 40, 50 of them. All right, so when you sit there and you talk about these, you know, I think it sucks that, you know, and to be honest with you, I mean, I guess it's cool, right? You know, it's something that people are interested in, so when you're covering true crime, you got to cover what people are interested in, or you don't get watched. Hey, thanks Timothy Cecil and Sheryl Bullock and Allie Keg. Yeah, maybe. You never know, F3. And I'd like to get more facts on that one. Looks like a pretty solid case. All right, so we've got Nancy Guthrie abducted. There's just in this Hindu Times, but they usually just take stuff that other people have put out, much like we all have to do, really. I mean, you got an expert talking, and you have to, you know, play an interview that they're speaking in, so we can go over it. You know. So Nancy Guthrie abducted, a result of snap decision by amateur. I don't know, man. That's what somebody's saying. I don't know. I don't believe that. A private investigator has opened up about what she thinks may have happened to Nancy Guthrie. A private investigator has suggested that Nancy Guthrie's potential abduction could have, you know, I always like the could have, you know, been a crime committed as a result of a snap decision by an amateur. Lisa Ribikoff Mooney, a polygraph expert and the owner of Interpoint Investigative Services, told Radar Online that there was a chance. I mean, see, so why even bother with it? There's a chance. Well, there's also a chance that aliens from Zeta Minor have beamed her up and are in a spaceship currently. You know, if you believe that there is life on other planets, and perhaps if the meteor didn't hit planet Earth, 60 million years ago, and it was really just only, if it was more like 100 million years ago, we would be 40 million years more advanced, and maybe we too would have spaceships that could fly across the galaxies and whatnot. And so if you believe that's a possibility, there's a chance that an alien spacecraft is actually involved here. Anyways, it says that there was a chance that the 84-year-old was targeted because of her daughter Savannah Guthrie's fame and financial status. Well, that's when you say a chance there, that's like, okay, that's almost likely. You know, not really a chance. It's like very likely that that's why the person was there. However, Nancy's home might have also been chosen for a different offense entirely, she added. Right, it could have been, you know, sexual assault, could have been something else. I think that this, oh wow, this person's going with the burglary gone wrong. I think this was a burglary gone wrong that resulted in a kidnapping. You forgot the part where the person took absolutely nothing from the house whatsoever, but took Nancy Guthrie. Ribikoff Mooney added that Nancy may have Nancy may have panicked during a robbery, and said who she is. Okay, and said who she is and who her daughter is, to use that as a motive for the perpetrator to leave the residence. That is when the suspect may have decided to kidnap Nancy for ransom, she explained. Okay, so it's a kidnapping for ransom that went wrong. Okay, so this person's adding it all in there. I mean, they can't lose this person, man. That is great. What a great theory, man. That this was a robbery that went wrong, but in the middle of the robbery that went wrong, Nancy Guthrie said, "Hey, don't you know who I am? My daughter is Savannah Guthrie. She's really rich and everything. And, you know, if you let me go, you can..." And then he goes, ooh, I know. I won't steal anything from the house at all. I'll take you and demand ransom. But then she died, and then the ransom attempt went wrong. Wow, that's about as complicated as you can get. Thank you, Sassy Squatch. Let's see. It said Ribikoff Mooney added that Nancy may have panicked during a robbery and said who she is and who her daughter is. Her daughter is to use that as a motive for the perpetrator to leave the residence. How would that help do that? That is when the suspect may have decided to kidnap Nancy for ransom, she explained. And then it says, Ribikoff Mooney previously said that Nancy might have died by now, and that would make finding her very difficult. It's harder because authorities don't know where to look, she explained, of cases when people are trying to find a body. It is looking for a needle in a haystack. I mean, none of this is profound at all. It's just sort of, just random gibberish. Hey, thanks, RACH $4.99 for gifting a membership. If the person that was abducted was moved by any mode of transportation, they may not even be in the state where the initial crime occurred. Man, this person is might have, may have, so many times, it's almost scary. Savannah Guthrie's first interview since her mother's disappearance. After Nancy's disappearance, Savannah took a long break from her job as the Today Show host. She has now finally returned to the morning show for her first televised interview. We are in agony. Oh, we've just went over that. I don't know. What do you guys think of that? I mean, that's like having your cake and eat it too, man. You put in basically every single theory in there. Except the sexual assault version. You say, okay, yeah, he went into the house to do a burglary. And then stumbled upon, Nancy's in the home. And then Nancy said, hey, don't you know who I am? You better leave because my daughter is Savannah Guthrie. She's really rich. She can, I'm not even sure. I don't know how that would let you go. And then instead of stealing anything at this point, even though he wasn't recognized and could have easily just tied her up and stole whatever the hell he wanted and then left. He didn't do that. He stole her from the house, thinking, boy, I can get a big ransom. And then she died, and then that couldn't happen either, so he just wiped his hands clean of the whole situation. Anybody buy into that one? Man, you guys are still in hello mode, huh? What do you mean, Karen? I'm just reading an article. Yeah, I'm just reading an article, Karen. And then, of course, Lisa has to say, absolutely nothing, because nothing we've gone over so far is worth talking about. Let's see. Did we ever find out if they messed with her Ring camera or floodlights? No, we don't know. We just know that the doorbell camera was interfered with before going in. It was removed from the network. Oh, yeah, it's Richard Watts' birthday, huh? Jesus. That's crazy. Here, let me go back over to here. All right, we're gonna get to get Mary Lou happy birthday for Richard Watts.
I don't want to sing happy birthday.
Well, damn it, you're gonna do it. All right.
All right. Happy birthday to Richard Watts. Happy birthday to Richard Watts. Happy birthday to Richard Watts. Jesus. Happy birthday to you.
That was the absolute worst birthday I've ever heard in my life. That was terrible.
Thanks, Greg.
No problem, Mary Lou. No problem at all. No problem at all. Thanks, horse teeth, cow teeth. Hey, look at it. It's Dana Dane. Let's see. I don't do birthdays for dogs. Jesus, you got to be kidding me. Yeah, well, it's not today, is it? All right. Anyways, we've got a Raven sent me like this lady I was gonna have on my show too. She did an interview on TMZ. Sheryl McCollum. So we'll just listen to it. But yeah, guys, if you're out there, if you could help support the channel, I would appreciate it.
A lot of people believe there's more than one person involved. Where are the footprints? There's no drag marks, there's no scuff marks, there's nothing that shows there was any. So
she probably agrees. I've heard her before talking about stuff. I think she's, like I've heard her many times. I've tried, I talked to her on the phone for a few minutes. We're trying to set something up where she comes on my show. She's friends with Susan Hendricks.
Type of fight. If you have two assailants in that home, why do you have to get physical with somebody 84 years old? You can control her without hitting her. I don't have anything right now, factually, that dictates there was more than one person.
Right. Like I always say, every single thing that was done in this case could be done by one person. And there is no evidence at all that another person was involved. Not one. Nothing. Well, we don't see footprints in this here. This is where the blood is.
So today I am joined by Sheryl McCollum. She
God, the looks like about 10.
Those flowers.
That might tell us.
Those flowers is so strange to me. I can't stop thinking about it.
This is her right
An
here.
active crime.
A lot of people believe there's more than one person.
An active crime scene investigator's perspective. That might tell us.
Those flowers is.
That might tell a different story to what the public knows.
You know, for me, I would have to say there's two things. One, from the video, the way he manipulates those flowers is so strange to me. I can't
See, I've already explained this stuff so many times to people that her footprints wouldn't step on her own blood. I don't understand why that's so confusing to people. It's really obvious. Just picture it in your head. Let's say you're dripping blood as you're moving forward. Why would you ever step on your own blood? You're stepping forward. Some of the blood might hit your shoe, some might hit your shirt, and then then there's droplets that go ahead and hit the ground. But you're not going to be stepping on those. You're moving forward. Now, if there was somebody in front of you that was bleeding, and then you kept walking, you'd step in their blood. That's not what she did, though, Cindy. We've gone over this so many times, it's almost mind-boggling. All right, let me keep playing here.
Thinking about it. And then the other is obviously right there, the blood spatter. There are 4 separate, to me, patterns there. So there's the drops, the 90-degree angle drops that you see that look like it might be from a nosebleed. Then there's the medium to high velocity spatter that some people have said they think that it's drops within a drop, but I don't. I think it's where she coughed. And then
yeah, the drops in a drop. That's that crap that these people are starting to say that it's what's the name of that? Hell, I can't remember. I was just looking it up today. Like it hits and then these little droplets, satellite, that's the term. Yeah, so there was like little satellite spatter. That's what 2 different experts have said. And this doesn't look like that at all. I just said satellite, yeah. I just said satellite, thanks.
Down from that a little bit,
Jesus.
There's a transfer print.
You guys are always
it
a day late
looks to
and a
me,
dollar
Jackson, like there was blood
short.
on somebody's hand right here and maybe on their palm.
You're on rewind.
Where they just touched down. It almost looks like a Rorschach test. The thing where it looks like a butterfly or different animals to somebody. And then down a little bit further, there's a clear swipe where it was.
Yeah, so the, I'll tell you something I found was interesting today when I was re-looking at this, is right here. See this? Like, isn't that weird that there's this empty space right there? I mean, you see all these little dots all over the place from blood, and then there's this one, and then there's this perfect little, I don't know what's happening right there. I mean, it could just be the way it came out, but just strange, almost like a hand, the side of a hand or something is right there. I don't know. And now when I look at this, it almost seems like the cough is facing a little bit more back towards the door. Because if you look at all these small particles, you have the beginning here, and then it kind of goes like that. You guys see that? If I zoom in a little bit, like it goes more over here, but there's not, those little dots there's hardly any over here. So it seems like the main sort of, even though like the direction is a little bit more back towards the door. And then it goes up like that. Hey, welcome. Wind in her eyes. But hey, guys, if you're out there, you please help support the channel. That'd be great. See you later. BCAS. Maybe come back another time. All right.
See that look like it might be from a nosebleed. Then there's the medium to high velocity spatter that some people have said they think that it's drops within a drop, but I don't. I think it's where she coughed. And then down from that a little bit, there's a transfer print.
I don't know.
It
She
looks
just
to me, Jackson, like
no, I don't think she's facing that direction. See, all it is that her head, it could have just been her, like she's bent over towards the ground and her head slightly turned to the left and coughed or something. That's it. There's no extra, we don't need to assign it that, oh wow, her whole body's facing towards the door. That doesn't mean that at all. It means that when it came out of her mouth, even if her mouth was slightly, like instead of being down like this, she went like this. That's what would do that. Like, straight down, it would probably be more just this perfect little, and then if you turned this way, it'd be a little bit more in the other direction, but you'd still have that centralized portion like this.
Was blood on somebody's hand right here and maybe on their palm where they just touched down. It almost looks like a Rorschach test. The thing where it looks like a butterfly or different animals to somebody. And then down a little bit further, there's a clear swipe where it was a clean surface and something
that
was
must
bloody
have hurt, Jim.
went right past it. So those 4 distinct different patterns tells me there was movement And the thing that I find the most curious is that a lot of people believe and have been very outspoken that there's more than one person involved. Where are the footprints? Somebody would have been in front of her, leading her out, and there would have been a second person.
Right.
There are no...
That's the whole thing. If there was somebody behind her, they would have stepped on her blood. Okay, that's the thing. If it's your own self, you're not stepping in your own blood, because the blood that's dripping down out of your nose is going to hit your foot or whatnot, and then your foot moves forward, and then maybe some gets between your foot and drops off to the side.
Footprints in that blood at all. There's no drag marks, there's no scuff marks, there's nothing that shows there was any type of fight. So the blood is very interesting, the flowers are very interesting, and I have been very outspoken. Obviously, as a crime scene investigator, they released it way too early.
Mm-hmm. And judging by the blood splatter patterns, you mentioned a nosebleed before, but is there anywhere else going off of these patterns that you think Nancy Guthrie was struck?
I mean, she could have been struck in the nose or the mouth, but
yes, Cindy, where have you been? We've gone over this many times.
The little round ones, the 90-degree drops, some of them have what we call like a half moon. They're clear. That's indicative of oxygen.
Yeah, I found this other shot of it that's clear. This one, hold on. See, you can see all these little red, and it's really concentrated right there. And it doesn't look like there's a whole bunch of drops that were in there and then more blood landed on the drops. It doesn't, it just looks like concentrated individual droplets. But there's also, this one has been altered where it's, they changed the contrast, so it's a little bit darker. That's the real look of it.
Air was in that drop. So again, I tend to think nose or mouth for sure.
And so, you say that there's no footprints there, right? But are you also intimating that you think one person was involved instead of two?
Again, I'm going to go off the evidence. We have somebody at the front door. We have one person. We have somebody that surveyed and was stalking the house before, whether it's the January 11th date or the 24th date. It's one person. We don't have drag marks. We don't have scuff marks. We don't have footprints. I don't have anything right now, factually, that dictates there was more than one person. Now, again, when you start talking about what you believe or what you think, that's like a theory. That's not facts. So I'm literally just going off the blood, the lack of a secondary set of footprints, the lack of another person on video. Where's the other person? Why don't we have it? Why haven't they said, the back door caught this person, or a ring camera caught 2 or 3 people crossing the backyard? We don't have that. So
yeah, I mean, the thing is the evidence that we have right now, as I've said the same sentence that she's saying here at least 50 times on my show, is that all we have evidence of is that there's one person. And all of the information that we have so far in this case shows us that one person could do what happened. All right? There's nothing in here that you look at and go, wow, there has to be a second person. If you say that, that means you just want there to be a second person, because there's zero evidence whatsoever pointing to a second person. In fact, it sort of complicates things, Then you got another person that can't say anything, and etc.
Just what I have so far. We have somebody caught on video more than once. We have no bloody footprints coming behind Nancy that we know of, that we can see. And so for right now, it's one person. And here's the other reality. It's a whole lot harder to keep 3 people quiet when there's $1 million on the table.
I didn't even listen to this
nobody
yet.
tried
There
to
you
touch
go.
that money.
See?
Let me put you in a hypothetical.
I just said the same thing.
You arrive at the crime scene, and you're presented with the evidence that you currently have at your disposal. What tactics are you utilizing to your advantage to try and build a profile on the person that did this?
One of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to put up double tape. So I'm going to put tape up around my crime scene, and then I'm going to have a secondary tape basically making a track, Jackson, so that, you know, people that come there that are higher ups, whether it's the chief of police, the sheriff, you know, somebody that is involved with the FBI, they can walk the whole perimeter without entering my scene at all. Second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put up a media staging area as far down that road as I can to my left, and I'm going to put our command center as far down the road as I can to my right. I don't want these people following me. I don't want these people right here at her front door. We've seen it. We've seen people walk
those
right
nut
up
jobs
to her
that just
front
sit
door.
there filming 24/7.
Follow FBI agents down the road, literally filming them walking side by side. That just shouldn't happen.
Thanks, Wild Boy.
I would also put some tents up. You would not see me take a big old stick and start, you know, searching manhole covers and sewers and things like that. That wouldn't happen. Again, she's got grandchildren and children, and I would be really aware that they're going to probably watch this, so I wouldn't have that happen. One of the things that I would have done, I would have kept it open until I was satisfied we had gotten everything. I would have kept it open until I knew whether or not we were going to have video. And the reason is I may think or believe where he may have.
Yeah, they should have just locked that sucker down until, you know, because remember how they gave the family back the house before they even got the video of the suspect at the front door. Isn't that crazy? Because now they can look at it and go, ooh, wow, he was right there. Look how he's grabbing over there. We can go, let's go get that. But that you open it up, and then people start walking around. They grab the door, etc. You know?
You know, entered the home, where he may have exited. I want to know for sure. That video is going to tell me. She also has some cameras on the inside. Where is the blood inside the house? What does her bedroom look like? Savannah and the sheriff have been very clear that she was pulled from her bed. So I can only imagine that her comforter and her sheets show that they were maybe drugged to the floor. When was she hit? When does the blood start? Why do you have to hit her? That's another reason I think it's just one person. If you have two assailants in that home, why do you have to get physical with somebody 84 years old? You can control her without hitting her. That's not necessary. So that tells me this person wanted to be violent. This woman's got a heart condition. She can't walk very far on her own. There ain't no reason.
I'm going to go back again.
Until I was satisfied we had gotten everything. I would have kept it open until I knew whether or not we were going to have video. And the reason is I may think or believe where he may have, you know, entered the home, where he may have exited. I want to know for sure. That video is going to tell me. She also has some cameras on the inside. Where is the blood inside the house? What does her bedroom look like? Savannah and the sheriff have been very clear that she was pulled from her bed. So I can only imagine that her comforter and her sheets show that they were maybe drugged to the floor. When was she hit? When does...
Yeah, well, if it's true that she was drugged from the door, then he didn't, you know, the last theory that idiot had on that Hindu magazine or whatever, it's just garbage. Oh, yeah, I went in there for a robbery went wrong, and then she said, hey, man, so when would she have said that? That, hey, my mom is so-and-so. Yeah, we're already going to take, look at. They went to the house to abduct Nancy Guthrie. Again, for the 9 millionth time. The reason that they removed the... Oh, she's putting in that divider again. I took the divider off. The reason that they took the camera off the front door was because they were going to be parking their car in front of the house, knowing that they're going to be abducting Nancy Guthrie, and they put the car there. And really the only reason they removed the camera is because they were going to put their car there. The abduction of Nancy Guthrie, that's not why they removed the camera. They removed it because they didn't want their car seen when they were removing Nancy Guthrie. That's the reason. If they could have gotten Nancy out of the house without removing that camera, they would have done it. And they had like a positioning where their car was not on camera. If they got her out the back door, I think there's a camera that's higher up near the garage over there on the pool house. And that one probably wouldn't, it would have captured the car because they would have wanted to pull it up there. So they had to walk her quite a ways, and I don't know. The way they did it is exactly how you would think they would do it. But hey, guys, can you guys please help support the channel? We need maybe a challenge of some sort going on. We're currently only at about 1/6, not even that, 1/7 of the nightly goal. So if you guys have the ability to help support the channel, we're getting near the end of the month. Got to keep on trucking along.
The blood start. Why do you have to hit her? That's another reason I think it's just one person. If you have two assailants in that home, why do you have to get physical with somebody 84 years old? You can control her without hitting her. That's not necessary. So that tells me this person wanted to be violent. This woman's got a heart condition. She can't walk very far on her own. There ain't no reason to hit her. If you surprise her.
Yeah, well, one thing is we don't know for certain if anybody hit anybody. She could have tried to get away and then hit her against the wall, and because of her blood thinners and everything, she bleeds really, really easily. So it could have just been not even anything severe, but it's just bleeding from her nose, and there's a lot of drops. So that is, I don't think that's necessarily something that had to have been done, that she was hit.
At 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, wearing a mask beside her bed, honey, you're in control of that scene. She's going to do everything you tell her to do. So the fact that you had to pull her out of bed, the fact that she's bleeding, you're violent. So that backpack we know is stuffed with something, Jackson. I don't know what it's stuffed with, but I know it don't take 41 minutes to get an 84-year-old woman out of that house. So whatever he had, he used. He went mission ready.
Well, we don't know that, Cindy. See, you've missed a lot of shows, obviously, because we've talked about it. Like the plant that he grabbed, he may not have been using it to try to block it. He could have just been using it to remove the camera by putting the vine or whatever you call it, the stem of the plant behind there, and just tried to pull it off. Maybe he didn't want to rip his pair of surgical gloves that he had. So we don't know. Everyone has this whole story about how stupid he is, and including me. I was thinking that earlier, but I don't think I necessarily believe that at this point. We don't know. We all assign, oh, he's so stupid. Look, he's trying to block the view with the plant. But if he was trying to pull it off, he knew it was there, the camera, and he just knew that he was going to remove the camera, but wasn't nervous that he was on there. So when he goes over there, he goes, maybe I'll try to remove it with this stem here, and then I'll just pull it off. I think we sort of overthought, how he's so dumb. Look what he's doing. He's trying to balance the thing, and he's trying to. That doesn't even make any sense. I think he was always going to remove that camera. And then he just looked for, maybe, because first time you see him, he's using his hands, and he's probably like, ooh, man, I don't want to rip these gloves. So then he goes over and gets the plant and then puts it up there. Maybe that's actually how he ends up getting the thing off. It just cuts off at that point. But hey, guys, can you guys please help support the channel? We're, I don't know. I don't want to have to keep asking over and over again.
And that's a concern that I have, but it also tells me it's one person.
Just for clarity, what do you mean by 41 minutes?
He's in the house for so long.
Well, he's not in the house for 41 minutes. See, that's where I don't agree. He's in the house from 2:12 to 2:28.
So if you know when he's at the front door, and we know approximately when the phone detached, from her pacemaker, that's an extraordinary long period of time What was he doing? You kick in the back door.
Jim Long.
You go to the bedroom, you grab her, you drag her out, you throw her in the car, you're gone. Yeah, you're talking about 7 minutes. We've got 21 minutes.
Where's he? What? Let me go. I got to hear this part.
41 minutes to get an 84-year-old woman out of that house.
Well, yeah, I mean, 41 minutes, I guess, from the time of the camera removal. But if you've been here, you know that my theory is that once he removed the camera, he disappeared for a while and wanted to monitor to see if by removing the camera and by setting off that motion, did anybody show up? Were cops called? Were family members called? Whatever. He wanted to see if anybody showed up to the house. So he waited elsewhere. And then maybe 20 minutes later, he pulls the car back up into the driveway there and then walks around the house and then jumps over the fence. And that's at 2:12 when that camera picks him up in the time frame that he enters into the house. Thanks, Jim Long.
So whatever he had, he used. He went mission ready. And that's a concern that I have, but it also tells me it's one person.
Just for clarity, what do you mean by 41 minutes?
I mean, he's in the house for so long. So if you know when he's at the front door, and we know approximately when the phone detached, from her pacemaker.
Yeah, I don't care if you disagree with that, LMP. You're wrong. Okay.
What was he doing? You kick in the back door. You go to the bedroom. You grab her. You drag her out. You throw her in the car. You're gone. Yeah, you're talking about 7 minutes. We've got 21 minutes.
I think LMP is just one of those trolls that show up. Never seen him in my life. Just pops in. I disagree with your blood spatter theory without any added information at all. You know what? I don't care if you disagree. You're wrong. Okay? That's the truth. Don't remove the comment. Don't time anybody out, you guys. I don't care if people disagree. I'm just going to say back, you're wrong.
Got
all right, here we go.
30 minutes. We've got a longer period of time than it would take for anyone to kidnap somebody. So again, that's telling me that might not have been what this was. It's telling me that he was targeting her for whatever reason.
Well, her blood spatter theory is the same as mine. It's the same. It's the same as mine, you guys. It's exactly the same. That blood dropped out, it's the same, so it's really just saying that.
And he was targeting her, but it doesn't appear in any way to be a traditional kidnapping.
Is there any
difference?
difference?
Look how he acts at the front of the door. He ain't in a hurry. He saunters up. I think he's going toward the window, because the door has windows on either side. He's maybe trying to look in. He sees the camera. He does that weird thing with his hand where he's not really, covering the lens. It's almost like he's making the letter C. That's weird.
Okay. What are they saying it is then, LMP? So instead of just saying you've heard all these different people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, well, how is the spatter made? Go ahead. What have they said? She's saying I think she said it's like expirated. I think she said that. I don't remember now. Go ahead. We're just going to wait. But hey, guys, we're just woefully short again here tonight. So if you guys could help support the channel, that'd be great. We need maybe a challenge or something by somebody to get the ball rolling here. Thank you. Do we have to just keep waiting and waiting and waiting? Okay, you know what, LMP? I don't want you to. You're rude as hell yourself. All right, see you later. All right, let's go.
His pistol, I mean, it's all wrong. The way he's carrying the
I was going to join. They always say that shit. You were never going to join.
He's got a mouth light.
God, give me a break.
He's got a backpack that's filled.
That's hilarious.
Well, then he turns around and he engages the mouth light on the ground like he's looking for something. Then he goes to these flowers. Once he gets the flowers, he pulls some of the leaves off and then breaks them, comes back to the camera, and is trying to manipulate them to like almost hang them on the camera itself. Very strange. But again, he's not damaging the camera. He's not getting rid of the camera. He walked past 100 rocks, Jackson. Who walks past all those rocks when all he had to do is just bust the camera?
No, I like opposing point of views as long as you tell what the view is. You didn't do that.
Real quick, but he's fooling with these flowers. I believe this person is not well. I think mentally he's got some challenges going on, and that's what we're seeing. Because every single expert, I guarantee, that you have talked to.
Okay, I got to rewind it now.
So again, that's
so every time like somebody comes in as disruptive like that, it always sort of affects, like, it's hard to keep listening.
Time.
You know, so I'm going to try again.
What was he doing? You kick in the back door. You go to the bedroom. You grab her. You drag her out. You throw her in the car. You're gone. You ain't talking about 7 minutes. We've got 21 minutes. We've got 30 minutes. We've got a longer period of time than it would take for anyone to kidnap somebody. So again,
Well,
that's telling
16
me
minutes is
that
closer.
might not have been what this was. It's telling me that he was targeting
On
her
what, Cindy?
for whatever reason.
We've
he was
said all the
targeting
same
her,
stuff that she
but
just
it
said.
doesn't appear in any way to be a traditional kidnapping. Even look how he acts at the front of the door. He ain't in a hurry. He saunters up. I think he's going toward the window, because you know the door has windows on either side.
I don't think so,
He's
Timor.
maybe trying to look in. He sees the camera. He does that weird thing with his hand where he's not really, covering the lens. It's almost like he's making the letter C.
That's funny. Look at
That's weird. He saunters
it. Hey, look at, she does the exact same thing. It's funny. Watch.
up. I think he's going toward the window, because you know the door has windows on either side. He's maybe trying to look in. He sees the camera. He does that weird thing with his hand where he's not really, covering the lens.
That's like exactly the same. I guess it's more like that. Yeah, well, you got to picture that the camera is like right, the top of it's right in, here. He's right there. And his left hand, he's not trying to open the door. I remember originally thinking that. This hand is at the bottom of the camera. It just looks way bigger because of the fisheye lens. What am I looking at? Alley cake. Oh, jeez. I was excited. I thought maybe we had a challenge going. I don't get it, Jim. I don't get what you're trying to say.
Lens. It's almost like he's making the letter C. That's weird. His pistol, it's all wrong. The way he's carrying the handgun is wrong. He looks ridiculous. He's got a mouth light. He's got a backpack that's filled. Well, then he turns around and he engages the mouth light on the ground like he's looking for something. Then he goes to these flowers. Once he gets the flowers...
Hey, cool. What is it, Chickbait? What's your challenge? What do you got?
He pulls some of the leaves off and then breaks them, comes back to the camera, and is trying to manipulate them to like almost hang them on the
So that's, I think that's
itself.
an error on
Very
our part,
strange.
thinking he was trying
But
to set
again,
him.
he's not damaging the camera.
Like when you watch this, we don't know if he was trying to set him on there or not. He goes and grabs these, and we just see this portion of it because it's right in our face. But that doesn't mean he's trying to like balance it. See how he kind of curled it? To me, it looked like he went like this. Like he went like let's say you had the plant and he went like this. That's what he's doing in this shot right here. Tell me if you don't see that same thing. Watch this. See? Yeah, right like that. So the other hand, his right hand, I think, is creating the loop. Which one? Forget it. You guys, I don't know, man.
He's not getting rid of the camera. He walked past 100 rocks, Jackson. Who walks past all those rocks when all he had to do is just bust the camera real quick? But he's fooling with these flowers. I believe this person is not well. I think mentally he's got some challenges going on, and that's what we're seeing. Because
Yeah, I don't
every
know. I don't
single
know.
expert, I guarantee.
See, I think it's like too much to say that there's a big, like he's mentally unwell because we thought that he was trying to balance the plant. But if you take away that and you just think he's using the plant to take off the camera, then there isn't anything. It's just, that's what he's doing.
That you have talked to has told you the handgun is odd, the placement is odd, the flowers is odd, the way he reaches for the doorknob first and then goes immediately to this weird thing where he's not covering the lens. You can still see his face the whole time. It's just odd. Why do you take her? Why do you hurt her? Why?
All right, Sandy has a joke. She said, wait, that wasn't it. This one here. 3 men walked into a bar. The 4th one ducked. You get it? All right.
Why do you not ransom her immediately? Why are you not leaving a ransom note right there? Everything he does makes every expert say, I've never seen this before. I think the reason you've never seen it before.
It doesn't mean that, Bengal Cat. It means he's... You say, if it was for ransom, people do that. That doesn't mean they're crazy. They just want to get money. You know, and they're bad people. It doesn't mean, you know, it's different than what you know, you're making it sound like, hey, he kidnapped an 84-year-old, so he must be, you know, that doesn't mean that. Wow, thanks, Jim Lawn. I guess you got it, the joke did it, right? Thank you. Very kind, very kind.
But again, he's not damaging the camera. He's not getting rid of the camera. He walked past 100 rocks, Jackson. Who walks past all those rocks when all he had to do is just bust the camera real quick? But he's fooling with these flowers. I believe this.
Yeah, I mean, his idea was that he probably was going to remove the camera. So he used the plant to remove the camera. And you might think, wow, that's stupid. Who does that?
Person is not well. I think mentally he's got some challenges going on, and that's what we're
done
seeing.
All that,
because every single expert, I guarantee that
I've
you
done
have
it all.
talked.
I spent like an hour today having a conversation, and it gets it wrong. Like at first it tries to describe, oh yeah, there's a lot of blood there. But as soon as you start sending in more close-up images and so forth, then it eventually lands on that it was expirated blood, most likely.
Has told you the handgun is odd, the placement is odd, the flowers is odd, the way he reaches for the doorknob first and then goes immediately to this weird thing where he's not covering the lens. You can still see his face the whole time. It's just
right. And that's what I've told everybody. He doesn't care that you can see his face. He's got a balaclava. Every single thing that he's wearing is stuff that he didn't own until he just did this. Like he went out and bought all this stuff and he's wearing it so that nobody would go, oh, I know somebody that has that backpack. Every single thing that he's got on is new and he has it on and he has a balaclava on. So he doesn't care at all if his face or whatever is being filmed on that camera. You see? He doesn't care at all. And all he cared about, and that's the weird part, is if you look at it like this, he doesn't care that he's on camera. And then maybe when he got there, he's like, oh shit, you know what? I think if we parked right out in the front here, this is better. So he just sort of improvised on how to remove that camera because he doesn't want to be have the car filmed. The car is something that might trace back to him. Now, it's interesting, too, because, you know, it almost seems like it makes it more likely it's a car that you own or something. I mean, I guess if you rented a car to do that, it could lead back to a rental agency and then bing, 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 bing. What's the challenge? What is it? Chick bait. I don't know what it is. So that's what I think. He doesn't care that he's on camera at all. And so he's just like, yeah, let me just remove this camera. I don't want it to film my car. That's it.
God, why do you take her? Why do you hurt her? Why do you not ransom her immediately? Why are you not leaving a ransom note right there? Everything he does makes every expert say, hey, I've never seen this before.
Yeah, I mean, there's weird stuff in there. All right, we got Sassy Squatch said, why did the bicycle fall over? It was too tired. That seems like it should. Okay. Well, I mean, I was going to say, why didn't the bicycle fall? But I mean, I get what it's saying. It's just. All right. Okay, here we go.
I think the reason you've never seen it before is because he's not okay.
Interesting. So it's evident that you've studied this case extensively. And I'm just wondering, do you have a profile in your head of this person? Because you just mentioned that you think this person isn't well, and you referenced his behavior walking up to the door and conducting the crime. Who, in your experience, do you think did this?
You've never seen it.
Okay, I'll get that in a second. I got to do this one here. Okay, this one says, did you hear about the frogs who were illegally parked downtown? They were towed. Yeah, get it? I'm not even sure toads are... Well, I remember, like, there's toads in New Mexico that are, like, horny toad. They're actually lizards, so they're not really a toad, I guess. But all right, anyways. Here we go.
Before is because he's not okay.
Interesting. So it's evident that you've studied
this guy's she's thinking he's nuts or
case
something.
Extensively.
I mean, I guess sort of what Raven's saying up there. You have to be sort of nuts to be a criminal just in the first place.
And I'm just wondering, do you have a profile in your head of this person? Because you just mentioned that you think this person isn't well, and you referenced his behavior walking up to the door and conducting the crime. Who, in your experience, do you think did this?
I'm not a profiler, but I can tell you as a crime scene investigator, a junior burglar is not going to walk up to an iron door that has another door behind it. That's very difficult to break into. That takes a lot of time. That takes tools. To walk
in your experience, do you think did this?
I'm not a profiler.
Because she's not a profiler. Let's see. How about I haven't watched this yet, so let's guess on what she might say. Why did Beethoven get rid of the chickens? They said, "Bach, bach, bach." So that, he was mad because he thought the chickens were saying Bach, and they should have been saying Beethoven. Or Beethoven, as I like to say.
But I can tell you as a crime scene investigator.
Okay, what is she going to say? Based on the way she's been talking, who do you think's done this? She's going to think it's a crazy person who... I want to know why she's going to think that he took her, though. Is he just a crazy person? Or was there a sexual assault motive? Anything like that?
A junior burglar is not going to walk up to an iron door that has another door behind it. That's very difficult to break into. That takes a lot of time. That takes tools. He doesn't take anything out of the backpack that we can see. We know the lights are also damaged on the back of the house near the back door. Maybe that's how he got in. We don't know. But I do know where they exited because I know where Nancy's bleeding, and that's at the front door. I know he tried to at least take, almost a minute there at the front door. So to me, what you're looking at is somebody that is not a professional, but had a reason, his own reason, to gain entry into that home and do whatever damage he did.
See, Bengal, you already watched the interview, so why did you type something in?
I'm wondering what that tells you about how this was conducted.
Well, again, if you go back to the video, when he's doing this the first time, you can see his other hand. He's reaching for the doorknob to test it. Maybe when he was there before, the door was unlocked. Maybe he got rid of the lights but went into the back door. Maybe it was open. We've heard other people that live in that community that say there's never been an issue, and people...
We haven't had one challenge tonight, you guys. So, I guess Jim Lawn sent in a big super chat, but, we still haven't had a challenge of any kind.
Tend to leave their doors open. Maybe he was testing that first, but I don't know. Again, I didn't see any tools. I didn't see any damage to the front door. We haven't really seen the other doors, but it looked to me like the sliding glass door was intact. And again, if this person was a pro, he would have been in and out. If he was
Yeah, but it turns out now, as Ashley Banfield reported, was that she often would just leave her back doors unlocked. And we know now that if we go to, let's see if we look at this. Hey, thanks, Chris O'Cuddle. Didn't see you in there. Thanks for showing up. Yeah, we now know that there's a door right inside of there, and there's a door right there. And one of those two doors is how this person got into the house. 100%. I don't think there's any chance that they went in through these sliders over here. They'd want to go in the back, and that's why they broke the floodlights back there.
Fox News alert, you're looking live at Nancy Guthrie through an infrared...
See, this was sort of an interesting footage, because this actually, I didn't see it until I started looking for that, the proof of the door. Watch this. Watch the proof of the, I'll show it to you right here. Watch.
You talked about
that right there's the awning area, right? See how there's this big, right, that's right there at the edge of the curve, that little curved part of the yard. See that? It's right there. And here they go.
Camera that was discovered on the roof.
Now look.
Do you think that was part of the just regular surveillance, or was that wildlife?
Yeah. So that absolutely proves that. They actually all went into the door that was right there. Okay, you see that? Absolute proof. I sent it to Ashley, and she said, what did she say? Because it's always good to prove stuff, if sometimes you see something, she says, oh wow, you're right. There you go. All right, so there he goes. Did you guys see that? They went in a door that was right underneath there, and let's see. Here, I'll show you this one too. We don't know what you're talking about, Cindy. What does days later have to do with anything? All right, look at, what do you mean days later? Are you talking to me? All right, so right here, the black portions are doors, right? So there's a door there. There's a sliding glass door there. Sliding glass door over here. There's a door right there. And then there's a door right there. That's the one that we just saw them walking in. So this little line that's right here isn't really the walls of the home. In red are the walls of the home. All right, and then this is where the dining room table is. This is where the little mahjong table was in her house. And then there's a door over here that goes into a storage unit. No, I'm saying he either went into this door or this door that night. That's what I'm telling you, Cindy. So this one right here, this one or this one, they went in. Okay? That's how they got into the house. This door does not go into the house. This one's inside the garage. They didn't do that one. Or we would have seen that the garage door opened again. They didn't go into the front door here. That's where they removed the Ring camera. and they didn't go into the sliders into Nancy's room. One of these two doors apparently was wide open. It's most likely this door here, but this one is absolutely in play because it's right back there also. You got it? All right, cool. Hey, thank you. What is it? Luis Bios? Something like that? Thank you. All right, let me get back to that interview.
A lot of people believe there's
find
more
the
than
spot.
one person involved.
It's over here somewhere.
But it looked to me like the sliding glass door was intact. And again, if this person was a pro, he would have been in and out. If he was a burglar, why drag her out of bed?
He was kind of
Even
in and
if
out.
he heard her
16
screaming,
minutes.
like, who's there? You know, he could easily just grab her cell phone. There's no way she could call
Right.
the police, and he could get out of there.
And that's what the investigators found out, was that she left her back doors unlocked frequently because, you know, you have a fence, you probably feel pretty safe about it.
But her cell phone is behind, her hearing aids are behind,
Calling
her
about
Apple
what?
Watch is behind. It just doesn't
Who's
sound
Juliet?
like
Who you
somebody
talking
that
about?
knew what they were doing. He thought about the beginning. How do I gain entry? I don't think he thought about the ending. What do I do if this goes south?
And how often is it that you see cases like these go cold? Because obviously there's not a lot to go off of, it seems like, at the crime scene. Do these cases go cold, and are they ever solved?
Well, you can always have a case go cold, whether it's a kidnapping or a homicide. If this had been my case in the beginning, I would have worked this case like a homicide. If you're wrong, great, you've done no harm. But if you're right, then you've done it correctly from the beginning. So again, if they had believed this was a homicide, they would not have released it. I think they would have brought dogs in quicker. I think they would have brought the FBI in quicker. So in order for a case to be cold, Jackson, you're talking about no more leads, no more witnesses, no more evidence for 3 years. This case is not cold. They are actively waiting on DNA. They are still actively talking to neighbors and the general public. They are still trying to track down maybe who sold him a weapon, maybe who had a weapon stolen. It looks to me like it's a 9mm, but the holster is wrong. It doesn't fit. It's like a one-size-fits-all, real cheap holster. Maybe somebody would remember this kid coming in and buying it.
I don't know what you're
he
saying.
He looks young to me.
Louise,
you know,
I have
so
no
I would
idea what
say
you're
30
saying.
or under. Again, just a guess, but it doesn't appear that he's 60. You know what I mean? Like, he seems pretty young. Again, he doesn't seem real experienced, but for whatever reason, he wanted entry into that home. You got to remember, he selected January the 11th and the 24th and the 31st. He did that. So why that house on those days? They're only weekend days. They're only Saturdays and Sundays that we know of. So does that mean he works out of town during the week? Does that mean he's in school during the week? You would hopefully be able to shrink your suspect pool a little bit.
Yeah, so right now we're currently about 50% of our nightly goal, you guys. So if you're out there and you can do a challenge or help support the channel in some way, that would be great. Thank you.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a good point, because he only did the dates that they're referencing were on weekends, which would suggest that he has somewhere to be during the week. It also sounds like you're pointing out a lot of flaws with regard to the investigation tactics, whether it be the FBI or the Pima County Sheriff's Office were utilizing. How would you rate their methods of investigation as it pertains to this case?
I don't know everything that they're doing, obviously. We only know what they've told us so far. But if you watch what's being done, and Jackson, what's not being done, a picture's being painted. One thing I would love to see that I have not seen is a press conference with all three, the sheriff, the FBI, and the family. We have not seen that. I haven't seen the Guthrie family stand with law enforcement at all. They've made their own videos in private without them. I would like to see that, hey, we're a team here. This is a full court press and we are standing together. We're working together. I think it would help people. When you go this long without a press conference, all you're doing is feeding into these conspiracy theories. And that's not fair to anybody. So I would like to see more communication, and I would like it to be as a group.
Sheryl, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. You've been fantastic.
Jackson, thank you so much. This has been a great time.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, I don't know. I agree with a lot of the stuff, but some I don't, you know. I don't know if this, I mean, is this just some weirdo little, you know, young kid is like, oh, you know, and just took her out of there? Just, that doesn't make sense to me. And you know, people always say that there's no voids here. That's all I see. I mean, I see droplets there, and then there's space there. You could have easily walked out like this, you know, and it almost appears like there should be more droplets, but there isn't, because it would hit the top of their foot when they're walking out. That's what I see when I look at that. Hey, thanks, Crusoe Cuddle. You know, we still, you guys, somebody else though, we still don't have one challenge in here tonight. Those seem to be the things that sort of help us get somewhere, because people wait to join in on the challenges. I've seen them type that in. Let's see. Can't believe they didn't take the mat. Yeah. Well, it's weird too, right? Because he was touching that plant, and then the plant hits the mat. I mean, maybe there's something on there. I mean, you know, he was wearing gloves. People make a way big deal about the flashlight. Oh, he had to take it out, but he hadn't taken it out yet. So, I don't know. You'd think there could have been something on that mat from his shoe or something. I don't understand what Luis Valos was talking about. Who are they referring to? They just kept saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. You know, where's Juliet? I don't know who that is. I don't even know. I think you're on the wrong show, I guess. I don't know who Juliet is. Right. But I can open up the lines. So now we just have a phone number that you can call in. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Oh, wow. All right. By the way, Marty, I meant to text you earlier. I got the that store that I was telling you about has the red breast, if you can believe that. I couldn't believe it. But Marty has a challenge, you guys. He's saying if you guys can send in 10 channel memberships, he'll send 10 all by himself as a coffee. All right. So if you guys can do that, that would really help out the channel quite a bit, and we'll get way more members in here, etc. We're trying to get as many members as possible, gifted, etc., so that maybe if people want to stick around, it's only $1.99 a month after the first month. You know, the first month is free for you, but after that, if you want to stick around, it's only $1.99. We do a lot of good stuff. You know, we were just talking about that, Scott of Flight. All right, so we need 9 more, you guys. 9 more. See if we can do that. Oh, man. Jesus. I got in 11,369 steps today. It's pretty good. Man. You guys see the challenge up there? It's just no enthusiasm. Okay, so this is so this is Dr. Bodden on February 12th. This is what he said. Crystal O'Connell said, "I'll join you, Marty. I'll buy 10 memberships if Marty's challenge is met by the freaks." Wow, you guys. So if you guys get 9 more in there, then Crystal O'Connell will match 10, and then Marty does 10. That's amazing. There you go, you guys. See if you can do it. Yeah, we always get these trolls in here. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Got Alley Cake, Wild Bill Wassman. Very cool. I'll go over this while you guys are eagerly reaching the goal. I guess I could, I don't know. I mean, if we get, oh, look at, we got 5, 6, 7, 8, man. All we need is 2 more. That's amazing. A key piece of evidence could provide investigators with additional context surrounding Nancy Guthrie's disappearance from her Tucson, Arizona home. Okay, here's the thing. You know what Dr. Bodden is, right? Like, I don't know. Whenever he's working on a case for a client that wants to contradict the medical examiner, I don't have as much faith in what he's saying. But if he's just saying something because he's asked a question about a case he's not involved in, then I would, would listen to it a lot more. You get what I'm saying? I mean, these people a lot of times are hired guns to see certain things that, that contradict what a medical examiner says. But let me ask you guys something. Are you guys as bothered as I am that there's so many different theories by the experts, on like how the blood got there, etc.? So how does this work? You just go out and find the medical examiner that tells the way you want it to be said, or what? All right, we just need one more gifted membership or a $5 super chat, and we'll have reached the goal. The challenge, I mean. But it's crazy. They're so different, Like, it's just, it's mind-boggling. They all say something different. Some don't even say. They go, oh, yeah, it looks like there's just droplets of blood, and then, and then we go, okay, droplets with satellite spatter, and the other one is medium velocity from maybe a cough or something. And that's the one I think. Hey, thanks so much. There's Sassy Squatch. All right. You guys did it. Very cool, very cool. Oh, look at there's Shinobi Business. How's it going, Shinobi Business? Very cool. I gotta go use the restroom really quick. So I'll be back in just a second. Or I'm getting older, so maybe 10 minutes. am back, man. Not even that long. That was amazing. And thanks so much up there to Chris O'Connell and Marty's Bar and Grill. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah. All right. So this is the Juliet person, you guys. I see the Juliet in here. Who are you? Somebody kept mentioning your name before. Oh, you're chick bait. Okay. Well, I can put the... let's try it. We can give it a shot, you guys. Want to do it? Here we go. There's the phone line that says a key piece of evidence could provide investigators with additional context surrounding Nancy Guthrie's disappearance from her Tucson, Arizona home. Photos taken by Fox News Digital show blood droplets on the ground in front of Nancy Guthrie's front door and her driveway. Nancy Guthrie is bleeding from some area with the hands or the face. Forensic pathologist Dr. Michael Baden told Fox News Digital the nature of the blood spots with little pale centers or donut shapes are typical of drops that come from the nose or mouth because they're mixed with air. That means she's coughing up blood or dripping from the nose. Otherwise, there would be a dripping from a cut from above, possibly from the hands or face. Yeah, I think he's correct on the first part. What are you referring to, you guys? All right, let's see if this works. Hello.
Hi, Gray.
Yep.
Hi, Julia Chickbait.
Okay, Julia. Who was the other person that kept typing in that got time?
My friend Lewis. No,
Oh,
pay
okay.
him no mind.
Well, it was just
but
funny.
He did buy a membership for your fan club, so.
Yeah, I mean, he just kept saying.
I try to do my best. I used to buy memberships for your, people too. So.
Cool. So what do you
doing?
What do you got?
What do I got?
Well, you're calling up because we're doing a show, right? I mean, what's the?
No, I don't think we'll find Nancy Guthrie. No offense. I'm very sad about it.
Yeah.
I think
once they find out who the people are, then they'll have a chance of finding her. Because then they can go back and see if they can, they'll be able to maybe track the car on license plate readers, go back in time. Hopefully they're collecting everything that there is now that they can look later for a license plate or something.
The worst of the worst is it could be Mexican nationals and stuff like that. But I wanted to give you some growth story for me about the Idaho 4. I gave up, and I'm friends with the people who were, victims of what happened, and I no longer participate in that crap.
Uh-huh. Oh, a growth story.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what you were saying.
Why not?
Yeah.
I know. Who knows what I'm saying?
All right. Well.
But I do appreciate you. I've always been a fan. Okay.
Well, thanks. We're just all one. We're just one crew out there making a difference. All right.
No, but well, of course, but no, Nancy Guthrie. What I'm really scared about is that there could have been the kidnappers is what I think it is, kidnappers, but I can't verify that, of course. is that it could be from Mexico, you know. Could be. Maybe not.
Yeah, I guess you never know.
I'm glad that today's show and like her work family is still, you know, on her side with everything. I'm just really heartbroken, you know.
Yeah, it's you know, she's correct. It would just feel they'd be in basically a prison the rest of their life if they don't get answers.
And on that note, I'll let you go. But Lewis does say hi. He is a real person.
Okay. Hey, Lewis. How's it going?
Hey, Gray.
Sorry you got, I don't know how you got timed out, but I wasn't the one, okay, this time.
Oh, okay. It's okay.
Yeah, but thanks for buying that channel membership.
Because, like, we've been very nice to you, and I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah. Oh, well. Oh, well.
We try our best.
Yeah.
But we haven't been around for a while. I'll tell you the truth. My dad died, so I kind of stayed off the internet for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a long story short, you know. But hate to like break back into the internet and like dump it on you, you know.
Oh, well, sorry to hear that.
All right.
Sucks.
In that case, it's just like, I'm sorry, but no, I did miss you.
All right. Well,
all right, gotta go.
All right, have a good one. See ya. Bye.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Bye.
That doesn't work. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it, you guys? That audio. That's I'm kind of pumped about that. I think we need about just 5 more memberships to reach the goal, or close to the goal. So if we get 5 more, then I'll do my 5 challenge, where I can donate my 5. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think it sounds really clear. It doesn't break up that much. It's pretty good. Hey, let's go to keep reading this. The nature of the blood spots with little pale centers or donut shapes are typical for drops that come from the nose or mouth because they're mixed with air. That means she's coughing up blood or dripping from the nose. Otherwise, there would be dripping from a cut from above, I'm not sure what that means otherwise in this case. From a cut from above, possibly, like, is that another option? Law enforcement previously confirmed DNA analysis that the droplets confirmed the blood belonged to Nancy. Bodden added the blood droplets signify Nancy Guthrie was either unable or did not attempt to stop the bleeding as she moved from the front of her house to the driveway. But it also means she's alive. That's the more significant portion. The blood dropped onto the porch area during the abduction, Bodden said. They indicate that it did not occur by innocent means. They happen not in a normal, innocent way where it could be covered up or have iodine and bandages put on it. This blood drop was on the porch area during an abduction, Bodden said. They indicate that it did not occur by innocent means. They happen not in a normal, innocent way where it could be covered up or have iodine bandages put on them. That's kind of pretty specific right there. Bodden pointed to the nature of the blood droplets and the location in which they were found suggests she was bleeding as she was being abducted. These are not innocent droplets. From the shape, number of droplets, and the place of the droplets outside the house on the porch, they are entirely consistent and indicative of occurring during an abduction. Guthrie vanished from her Tucson, Arizona home. See, this guy, in this case, this guy is saying exactly how I see this. Dr. Baden. Guthrie vanished from her Tucson, Arizona home in the early morning hours of February 1st. She was reported missing later the same day. Yeah. So, you know, it's so interesting because I now have seen 3 people say it was expirated blood, and then 2 people recently have said it's satellite blood, meaning there was like a pool of blood and then other blood hit it and it flew off. So I'll show you some of this footage. This is stuff that Raven, he sent me a website that you can download stuff. So I downloaded some that say a drop falling 100 centimeters to an existing blood drop. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Yeah, but 100 centimeters is a yard. And it is kind of interesting how it does splatter out, you know, and make these dots all over the place. So watch. So you drip. And then it does have, you know, it does hit, and then it goes quite a ways away. Like, look at some of these particles over there. And it depends also what surface it is. But you notice the middle there stayed the same. Now let's try one of these. This one right here. Thank you, T. Morrill. Now let me get rid of the phone thing. See, that would be like a pool already existing. And then I guess that one just stayed in the pool. It didn't splatter outside of it. And that was from 20 centimeters, so it didn't have a lot of velocity. See, this one here is where now we're getting sort of like what we could be seeing. You know, except that this doesn't exist. That pool, you see that? That's what I'm trying to tell people. Yeah, maybe if we play this one first, it'll do them all in a row. Let's see. So this is on, this one I thought was pretty interesting. It's on like a carpet almost. And look at that. That does spread out quite a bit. You know, these little droplets. And then you see these really perfect little lines coming off of it. And see, I don't see that. That's why it just doesn't look like this stuff. I get what they're saying, but the middle of it doesn't look like that. So here's another one. I don't think it's looping. Let's see. I guess it could be the same one. Oh yeah, see, they're going one to the next. This is 1,000 frames a second. Okay, and then there's that's kind of what these people are trying to claim, is that it looks like that, but where are those? There's so much fine misting. That's where it's different. It's totally different. There's just this really concentrated level of misting, and then it sort of spreads out slowly. All right, I'll tell you what, you guys, even though we're short here, I'll do my challenge where if you guys send in 5, I'll send 5 in myself. costs me the same amount as it does whoever buys the 5. All right, I'm just trying to get as many channel memberships as possible. So if you guys can give 5 as a group, then I'll look at that was still 1 in the air there. Then I'll give 5. I imagine these are sort of old, but they're still, yeah, it's 2007, but it's still pretty good. That looks like the one from before. That's somebody coughing. See that? See, that's what it looks like to me. See that? Do you guys hear my challenge? I swear to God, every time I do them, it's just, yeah. But see, look at right there. So you have all these little dots way out there. See that? I mean, way out there. And then it's really concentrated right there. And that isn't pooling. You know, like there's no pooling going on there. If you could show me that it was really dark in there and it had a bunch of the, you know, I would give it a little bit more credit, but it isn't that. It's like their head was, you know, we had it figured out before, 8 to 24 inches out the ground. Somebody went, coughed, and then it's probably more concentrated, but their head slightly at an angle to the left. And then it reached further out over here. You know, so they're high enough off the ground that just slightly turning the head will make it go further. Hey, thanks, Bengal Cat and Karen W. No. Cindy, you're wrong yet again. Hey, thanks, Sandy. It would have done the same stuff as these particles over here. You're always just, you're like way off. I mean, but it's almost like you intentionally try to look for something almost every single time. But anyways, you're wrong. Let's see. Let's get to the... Now, so this one is darkened here, but see how right in there? It's just like more of these fine stuff in there. You should have seen, if it was the pooling and satellite, you'd have all of these, all this blood. There'd be really a big pool in there, as we were just watching, and then constant dripping in there, and then it kept splashing out, and then some went further. I think one of the more telling things in here is the fact that the small specks go that direction. If it was just dropping down, you know, as we see circular, there should be a consistent pattern going off left and right. It should be very similar, right? But we don't have that. We have some over here, but most of it's off to the left there in the shot. Do you guys get it? Yeah, but you didn't, though. You. All right, let's see. All right, we need 3 more, you guys. 3 more gifted memberships. Yeah, that's probably the clear shot. But notice, like, just keep an eye on up in this area, the little dots. See right there? Boom. See, all of these came from this, and they went more over there. Blood droplets going straight down wouldn't do that, right? You see what I'm saying? Like the blood is circular, so when it dropped down, you would have a very consistent satellite, tiny spatter droplets in all around. But instead, it's more over here, even off screen over here, because whatever it was, the cough went that way. And so if it was dropping down, you wouldn't see that. And you see that every one of the droplets is circular, meaning it was very slow dropping down. It wouldn't do that. You guys see what I'm saying? I remember Henry Lee Lucas. Yeah, I kind of remember him. Right. Yeah, of course they have the crime scene photos of the blood. What do you mean if they would have it? That's just these people aren't totally inept. They just didn't do some things that we did, that we thought, oh wow. Obviously they took pictures of all this stuff. If they didn't do that, then they should be sued. That's how poor that is. That is horrendous. All right, guys, I don't want to keep asking again, but if we can get those last 3 gifted memberships, we'll reach the goal portion where I then can donate my 5, and I'll do that right after we get the other 3. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyways, that's what I think. There is some driplet, drops here. But let me show you something. This is another one of the things that's bothering me. How come none of these drops have the satellite stuff? Like you're looking at this one. Okay, I don't see any drops over there. You're looking at that one. How come that one didn't do any drops? And then you say, well, it didn't land in another pool of blood. But an individual one should have some. Because we already saw one that lands by itself. And so look at over here. There's no fine misting anywhere. You see this? Thanks again, Sandy Will. Man, I am absolutely certain that that's what this is. How come none of this other droplets have the massive amount of satellite spatter as this person's claiming? Do you get it? Doesn't make any sense. Of course they took pictures, Cindy. Come on. Yeah, maybe they didn't take the mat, but yeah. I think if they came in here and they did something to it, you wouldn't even be able to see these little dots in there. That's what I think. I don't think you'd be able to see it. Well, thanks, Marty. Looks like Marty did a coffee up there. I'm going to go, let's see. Maybe they used a sketch artist to record the scene. I don't know what that means. All right. Doesn't look like we're going to get those other 2, so I'll just... There we go. Yeah, when they say little swipe, I don't know if that's what this is. That's the only thing that looks like that. Somebody said it looked like maybe it was a partial print of something. I don't know what it is. There's no way to know. Don't guess either. Okay. It'll just be frustrating. Let's see. I had a retired FBI agent gift me a book. He was a customer of mine. A customer of mine years ago. Blood Secrets was the book. From what I can see, it's what you'd have said in regard to a pattern. Let me see if I do have what's the name of that website? What's Amazon's book online deal? What's that called? That Kindle? There's also Audibles, right? Yeah, I don't know. I already said that, Cindy. I don't know, let's see. It's okay. I'm used to it now. I just always have to keep saying it. I want people to, like, especially when I say something and I already correct it and nobody's typed it in yet. And then because you guys are on delay, you type it in after me, then I always go, hey, I already typed it, you know. Where do you go for your Kindle books? Where the hell are they? Is there like a Kindle.com site? Yeah, you guys are like 20 seconds behind me, usually. There's another setting that I could put it on, which makes it like within 5 seconds. Okay, let me just see if I can find it. Oh wait, don't I have it over here? I think I have an app or something. Yeah, right there. Let's see if that works. I think I have a book on this. Unable, okay. Migrating to, okay. Maybe it's been a while. Kindle is currently... Oh wow, some of these are so old. But I think I had yeah. What did you call that book a minute ago? Up above? Blood Secrets? Is that what you said? Who said that up above? Yeah, that's funny because I actually have that one. How weird is that, huh? It's right there. Blood Secrets by Englert Rod something or other. It's right there. No, isn't that weird? I wonder how I open this. I know, Cindy. I just opened it up. Thanks. Good Lord. Oh yeah, and down here, principles of bloodstain pattern analysis. That's the one we need to open right there. Oh, cool. Let's see if we can find something. Can you look? Can you search for something? Yeah, so page 259. I don't know how to do that, though. Spatters from a shooting and or X-rated bloodstain pattern. They have a whole bunch of references to it. Yeah, like here's some samples right there. Spatter associated with projection mechanism. This one is... There it is. Apparently, that, I mean, you can hardly see it, but... Artillery spurt, squish, gush, spray, X-rated spatter associated with projection. I'm kind of nervous that I'll open up a screen where there's like somebody's head or something. That looks kind of like what we're talking about here. Satellite spatters on shoes and pant cuffs can be misinterpreted as being impact spatters from a beating impact spatters from a shooting and or X-rated. Well, so there you go. So this one's saying that sometimes satellite can be misinterpreted as blood stain, but I think it can probably be the other way around too, right? I mean, you must evaluate scene facts to determine whether any of the spatters on a accused shoes and lower pant legs may be associated with satellite spatters. Issues to consider when evaluating whether the spatters identified on the accused could in fact be from satellite spatters are as follows. I mean, that one, you know, it's pretty dense. Satellite spatter captured on a vertical cardboard target that was positioned next to the impact site of passive drops following on one another. 0 on the scale represents the same plane as where the blood drops were impacted. I don't know what that means. Maybe down there. See, but you notice how there's no concentration, though. I guess that's where I think there's an issue. See, this is X-rated right here. I don't want to sit here and just keep reading this. But thanks, Sandy. Thanks for your support. PayPal and jokes. The result of blood being X-rated from injured party. There's a lot in here. and that's in that other book. Anyways, that's all right. I don't want to just... Yeah, that's all they come from. Yeah, see, that's kind of what it more looks like right there, in there, see? See, like a lesser version of that. Like this one, she doesn't have that much blood. I guess that was it. Yeah, and then there's like some pictures here, but it's really small. Yeah, screw it. What do you mean? Yes, exactly. What does that say it's from? What does that mean? I don't get it. I think it's just her face is 8 to 12, 24 inches off the ground, and she coughs, and the concentration is narrower, but some of the misting goes out in another direction, and most of it actually goes off to the left over here. Thank you, Mama, for coffee. Yeah, Travis had the same stuff. Yeah. He had a hell of a lot more because he got shot in the nasal cavity. You know, so he was bleeding profusely. Where Nancy's just got a little blood and it's just kind of dripping, you know. See, it's like right here. I always hate when you click on something and then it doesn't even, the picture never even shows up. It's like, why do you have the picture there then? Stupid. Yeah, I guess this is kind of big. But see all that? Like right over here is a cough right there. But dripping in the sink from the nose, and then over there is a cough that went over here. See that? But he's like standing, you know, he's back a ways, so it's got an angle to it. Actually, I know. I think I even know where this is right here. I think it's by the bathroom door. I think I remember, or the toilet door. I mean, had all that memorized back then. So that's what that's what my memory is telling me. But who knows at this point? That was a lot of years ago. Let's see. Yeah, well, Jodi Arias, she planned it pretty good. It's just kind of stupid. Like she Jodi Arias stole her grandfather's .25 caliber gun, then called police and said there was a robbery at the house. And wow, that just happens to be one of the weapons that's missing. Right? And then she used a 25... So she couldn't have stole it, right? Because somebody else got it. So whoever did the killing must have stole the gun from her house. And then she, drove over there. She got gas cans, put them in her car so she wouldn't have to stop at... She filled them up and wouldn't have to stop at gas stations. But she did fill up the tanks at a gas station. She just didn't want to have to drive when she was in Arizona. And then she flipped over the license plate, dyed her hair, and then went and visited him. And in the morning, probably before she was going to leave, enticed him because she didn't get invited to the trip to Cancun. Then she probably said, "Let me just take some last photos," and had him get into the shower. And then he starts taking these photographs, and at some point pulls out the .25 caliber, has him sit down, and then walks up and just shoots him right in the head. And then I think she was going to try to make it look like he took his own life, and then leave this .25 caliber sitting there. That's what I think that she was going to do, but it didn't work out. When she shot him in the head, it didn't kill him, so he was able to move around. And then she was like trying to kick him, and things weren't working. So she went and ran and got a knife as he's just barely able to move around. She went and got a knife and then came back and attacked him while he was standing at the sink, totally dazed, like he just got punched by a boxer, staring at the window. And he's just bleeding all over the place. And then she starts stabbing him, and then he goes down the hallway, tries to get away, and she just tackles him, keeps him on the ground, and just gets on his back and stabs him in the back like 20-something times, just 13 times in the back. At the sink, got him in the front a few times. And then at the end of the carpet, she pulls his head back and almost cuts his head off. And then while he was in the shower and she was taking the pictures of him, she literally went over to the bed, probably sat down, and then deleted those photographs. And then she thought of a plan. Oh, I know. If I take the camera, they'll probably think it was me because I'm a photographer. So I'm going to wrap up the camera inside of sheets and put it into the washing machine, and that'll destroy the camera. And she was right. It did destroy the camera. The only thing it didn't destroy was that memory card that they were able to take out and then find photographs that were deleted and thumbnails of images that they couldn't get back. And it was just showed the whole story. Absolutely crazy stuff. I mean, if that case was today, it would be the biggest case in the history of the planet. It just isn't today. I mean, it was huge at the time, but the way true crime is picked up and the way with all the images that they released, and my channel, I'd probably have 1 million subs because I made an entire 3D model of the entire house, and it was just not the whole house, the whole upstairs bedroom, bathroom area. It was pretty crazy. We don't know what you're talking about, Peace Solely. That doesn't make any sense. He had the light on in his mouth and bent over it. What? What are you talking about? You see that plant on the tile next to the blood? It's possible he drips a lot. It's not. Okay? It's not. You must have missed when Dr. Colleen Fitzpatrick was on here. Cindy, don't give any... You're sort of encouraging this kind of lunacy. All right? Don't do it. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's weird too because there's even you can even see when he's sitting in the shower, and then when Travis took the photograph of Jodi, or the other way around, when Jodi took the photograph of Travis in the shower, after she shot him, you can see, like, whoa, he didn't die. And her camera flips up and takes a picture high up of the top portion of the shower and the wall and a light. And then there's 2 more photographs taken in the middle of, or 3 more actually, of the attack. Think about it like this. The camera is down the hallway. It's upside down on the ground. And because of the way the camera is built, if you just wiggle the camera, it takes a photograph. It took a photograph of Travis's shoe, or his foot, his foot, and then Jodi's shoe right next to his head. But Travis's foot's really small, so it's kind of like, what are we looking at? Because it's a wide-angle lens. And he's literally bleeding from the neck in that photograph. And then there's another one where you see like a shoulder or something down the hall. It's just crazy. Looney Tunes. Watch him pick what? Watch him pick it. Watch him pick it, man. Oh, yeah, look at... Hey, P. Soley, you're wrong. She is legitimately the craziest... Yeah, well, she's kind of creepy. Her, just the way... Man, you could just see it. And she'd get in those arguments with Juan Martinez. We did the whole trial a couple of, 3 years ago or so on here. It's pretty interesting. Let's see, what else did I have here? Yeah, that's a really clear picture. I wish we had really clear photographs from... I feel bad. Like, I swear to God, you guys, if I was able to get to these scenes with the cameras and everything I have, I would make sure that we had clear stuff to look at, And like, as a matter of fact, if I went there... I would put my 360-degree Insta360 on top of the Mavic 2, and I would fly it into the yard about 4 feet off the ground, and you'd be able to look at everything, okay? Because the way they've done it here is, nobody owns 4 feet off the ground, It's airspace. Watch him pick it. Watch him pick what, P. Soley? And we know he reaches over and picks up a flower. You're saying, yeah, I think her cough is 6 to 8 inches away. So what position is she in? I think she's just bent over. I don't think it's 6 to 8. I think it's 8 to 24. And I think she could have just bent over, Yeah, like... It definitely isn't a fireman carry, as we keep hearing people say. If you go look at a fireman carry, her head would be 3 feet off the ground. Doesn't work. Now, we know she picks Nancy's plant. What does that have to do with anything, P. Soley? We all know that. He had the light in his mouth and bent over it. When he picked it. Okay. All right, dude. Yeah. You haven't met my ex-girlfriend. I think you might be dating a lizard. Hey, it's okay, P. Soley. I don't agree with you, man. I think there's always these minute possibilities of things, but I'm not going to spend time guessing on something like that. Where'd everybody go? Yeah, I guess that's really pretty much all. I did have, see, on Coffin Daffer's show, she had this image on the screen right here. And she didn't mean to show this. She was like, wow, how'd this get here? It was probably something she wasn't supposed to put on there. But it already made it out to the internet, and she didn't remove it, so I don't know. I don't know what this, know what this is. You know, there's a car here, obviously. And this doesn't look like the light's on. That looks like a reflection of a light. Like whatever took this picture, put the light there. If it was a light on the car, this whole thing would have been lit up. Yeah, what's it an image from? And I didn't ask you if you saw it a long time ago. I just said I wanted to try to figure out where it was. Yeah. I mean, there's a whole bunch of places that look like it have the, yeah, where it goes straight down and then it curves a little bit. Like, you know, you'd think maybe it could be something just like this. This actually might even be, except the only problem is it doesn't have the brick, the stone ground, you know. You'll email me what? No, I haven't seen it. I'm not really that interested in it. Who cares if he went into the DMV? Is it really that big a deal, or? Well, I know it's not Nancy's house. Yeah. How could it be her house? It doesn't look like that. But there has to be like a cobblestone. Wonder what took him so long to get the DMV video, by the way. It just seems crazy. Okay, go ahead and email. I'll check it out. Well, you guys, I think it's the show's sort of faded away. Everybody's kind of took off, and not a lot of people chatting. It's just DMB with Koberger. I don't see it. The crime will get arrested for an unrelated crime. Maybe. Are you sending it, Chris? But everybody just makes it seem like it's the greatest revelation in the world. Mm-hmm. Is there anything interesting in it? Is there anything in it that points to him being more guilty than he already is? Yeah, I don't know. Nobody's even like watching people's videos that have it. It's crazy. I don't know. I didn't get a link, so let's see what. Where is it? Chris, I don't see it from you, man. I'm staring at the screen. Chris Stew, where is it? Yeah. I hope you didn't send it to, like, from another YouTuber's thing, you know. Especially not one of the clowns that just do the crazy conspiratorial. Let's see. Okay, maybe I'll take a look at that here in a minute. Okay, I thought you said to him, let's see it, Raven. So how would he show you? I'm confused. Alright, let's see. This one right here. A former colleague of missing Air Force General William McCaslin disappeared. Yeah, I heard another expert disappeared recently. I mean, another UFO guy disappeared recently. A former colleague of missing Air Force General William McCaslin disappeared while hiking months before he did. Monica Riza was last seen hiking in Los Angeles forest with companion 9 months ago. Police say Reza was about 30 feet behind the person she was with, smiling and waving. When the person turned back around, she was gone. Rescue teams, well, that sounds kind of suspicious on the person walking. Rescue team searched for days, but her body was never recovered. Reza was an aerospace engineer who developed a special metal used in rockets. The project was funded by the U.S. government and overseen by McCaslin. Well, there you go. Are you there, Chris O'Connell? We're going over it. News Nation could not verify whether or not these missing persons cases are connected. Just go with the flow, Cindy. You always type in what you're observing, like about how the show's working. This is what I always talk to you about. It's wild, you know. It's just you just keep doing it. McCaslin, 68, was reported missing after leaving his Albuquerque, New Mexico home on foot February 27. During a Monday news conference, investigators said there have been no confirmed sightings. Monica Riza work caught McCaslin's attention in early 2000 after patented nickel-based superalloy. At the time, McCaslin oversaw the Air Force Research Laboratory. Yeah, so it sounds kind of connected. See that? Isn't that crazy? All right, there you go. Maybe I'll look into the other person tomorrow or something. Guess I got confused myself. Did you get it? Chris O'Connell. I just played it. that other one. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the problem is these are like somebody, this is all around. Nobody owns this thing here. No, I'm just letting you know I went over that other thing that he sent me was that UFO thing that I just went over.
You get my license plate changed.
I need to get my license plate changed, he says.
Okay. We should be able to help with that.
Do I need proof of insurance?
No, I mean, you have to have it in Washington State, but you don't have to prove it with us. I do need to know the exact miles that are on your car right now.
Let me check that.
Okay, perfect.
No, he said he was interested.
Today's the 18th.
I mean, it's kind of weird that you have two people working on sort of special things that are missing. I don't know if anything that she was doing was classified or anything.
Last night I was so tired. I was going, I'm tired.
So who put this out there? I mean, it doesn't seem like they usually sit there and beep, 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 beep every single piece of audio and video of everybody's faces and...
Check the box that says actual, put today's date, and then a couple months. But yes, theoretically.
Here comes Brian Koberger.
About 115.
Oh, okay. So you just have to write that exact mileage right here with no tennis.
Who cares if you notice the gloves? He's got gloves on. Hey, he's got gloves on. He's probably got the same pair he's going to, he used after that. I mean, he probably has the same pair on, you guys. They should go back and check to see if there's any blood on the counter when he went in there.
Check the box that says actual, put today's date, and then you'll sign, print, and your street address on the...
Yeah. Maybe he's hiding something. Maybe his hands got cut, so he's hiding them with the gloves.
bottom line there. Okay.
It's also pretty cold outside that time of year. You know what I mean? Right?
No.
Yeah, people are doing... I did a ton of FOIA requests on this one. I got a lot of different stuff. I'm not sure why this one took so long to get out there.
Okay, so on your platter, the 18th.
I think the weirdest stuff is just how he's just sort of mingling around in society after he just killed 4 people. Days later.
Should know that by now. I know you should have probably Right. Oh, they said that they were releasing today.
I don't think so. Lisa.
They are
The people, the kind of gloves he's got on, you just keep wearing them. It's not overanalyzed.
Yeah, so what happens is you know all your people, yeah, the first box right here that says actual mileage, and then you just have to print and do your street address. Okay?
Alright, need that back.
Okay. Oh, are you getting a refire anything on the car?
Oh, what?
Are you refining the car or anything?
No,
I don't know if we walk by him every day. I mean, that'd be pretty crazy.
DP placard, or the DP plate.
It's after.
So that's that. Now, I just want to mention, here's the placard, and here is documentation.
I think it's like 4 or 5 days later.
That she has the placard and the license plate. So that's for you. And again, that way happens when she the dog.
Elena had to sign a paper.
That she uses it. Yeah, name affidavit. Now I got it. Hey Molly, where's that name affidavit?
He could have been hiding something, but no, I mean, see, shadow aspect, you often make comments as if it's a fact and you've got it and it's not accurate at all. You just said he only walked a few yards from his car, so gloves are not necessary. Well, it's cold outside. I tell you what, when I have gloves on, And I go into the, especially if they're the thin ones like that, I get in my car, my hands are warmer, I drive, I go inside of a store, I still got my gloves on, and then I might grab some stuff. It's just, to claim it means something. It wouldn't be shocking at all if his hands got cut or something, but I don't know, I doubt it, because there's no blood at the scene, nothing. So if his hands got cut, there would have been blood. That means the knife would have gone through the glove, etc. I just think, we overanalyze stuff all the time, wanting to find something. This doesn't mean anything. He's got gloves on. People they're thinner, right? So you can control and write and do stuff. And, it's kind of a hassle to take gloves off and put them back on again. I don't know.
It is for Elena. On your desk? On my desk. Oh, yep, on her desk. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so yeah, if she's in another car without that, she can, and this is good for any car she's in. What color is the vehicle?
It's white.
Yeah, white?
Yeah, we've talked about that he's probably, I don't know what you call it. I think he's got some sort of like autism plus a psychopath, at the same time.
Thank you. That's it? Yep. Oh, receipt. And do you happen to know the trim of the harness? Do you know if it's the limited, the SE, or the sport?
All right. Yep.
All right, thank you. Have a good day. Thank you, Andy. Nice to meet you. Bye.
I wish it was sport.
Was that the better package?
Yeah, it still wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Car.
Thanks, Lana. Yeah. Do they not have that one?
I couldn't find it.
Thank you. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's been like a huge shortage on new cars. It's hard to.
By the way, I think it's hard to, I don't know. It's hard for me when I'm in the middle of trying to do something else and then we get, hey, check this thing out. And then I go over to this thing and I wasn't really that interested and, maybe I'll check it out later. And then I can't really do the one that I wanted to do. So I'm not really that interested in this. I don't know why. We just sit there staring there. You guys can take off and go watch it somewhere if you want. I was actually thinking of doing this. It's where there's two cases that I've already covered before. Oh, you don't have to say you're sorry. You weren't the one. I'm talking about the Koberger. The other one, I'm okay. We just covered that. But Koberger, we haven't really done for a while. I'm just not really that interested in it. I don't know. I got to be honest. I'm really into the Nancy Guthrie case because she hasn't been found, and it feels weird to sort of, I don't know, it feels strange. It's like absolutely still going on, and she's missing, and it feels strange to be like, oh yeah, and then go, random. And Koberger right now is nowhere near as important as the Nancy Guthrie case is because she's still missing. That case, there's a killer or a kidnapper out there. In Koberger's case, he's been, and I wasn't even referring, by the way, Chris O'Connell, I wasn't referring to what you, looking at that article. I wanted to look at that one. Because that was just a quick little update on something we've been covering that's actually more important than the Koberger case. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's more important than that one. All right, but like tomorrow we'll probably find something else. I don't know. I'm really wanting to get a model started in the house. I don't know if you guys would be interested if we started to build one using 3D Studio Max or something, because I have that floor plan of the outside, and then we can sort of try to start doing it. Maybe, I don't know, but. There was this other one that I wanted to talk about. It's one of the cold ones. Remember how we do these right at the end of the show? Right? So, yeah, if it was something about what happened at the crime scene, I'd be more, and that day, I'd be interested in it. More interested, because I still, I want to put all the pieces together. This doesn't have any bearing on it. It's similar. But even when he went to Costco, that video is more important because that's that day, and that's the time frame where it put the car, his phone, and his physical body all together. So that was important. This DMV thing, it's just sort of like, oh yeah, look at him. Once you watch it for about a minute, you got all you need. All right, so here we go. We're going to do this one really quick. I guess what did I just do right there? God, I hate that. I just moved this. I think it probably was right there. Okay. These are all the counties. It's pretty cool. See that? In the entire country, they're all in there. I can, collapse them all, but it actually gives you the whole county outline and everything. Yeah, I guess that is interesting. He didn't have to pull a number. And then he goes, oh yeah, go outside. You don't think there'd be 19 people running in to take your spot? That's a good point there. Oh man, let's see. I gotta get that little background music playing. It's just all right. There. So this is the guy right here. All right, Joseph Mullins. I guess I did this in 2022. I didn't really remember it at all, and I didn't have as much stuff, even though I still don't have a ton. But it says on December 19th, 2014, Joseph Mullins was taken from his home. So now he was abducted, beaten for days, and thrown away like trash. 10 years later, his killer is still free. Who killed my brother? This is it's on that same website, but he says, who killed my brother? Would you not want to know if it were yours? All right, so let's see what the hell happened here. You guys interested at all? I mean, it's just something different. I think that's the same picture right there, believe it or not. It just looks crazy. I think that's the same one. Look. I mean, it really is, isn't it? It's just such horrendous coloring up there, but it's absolutely the same angle and everything. Isn't that weird? So it says, Portage County Sheriff David Doak is requesting the public's assistance in locating a man who is reported missing from the area of the 10,500 block of Infirmary Road in Mantua Township in Ohio. Yeah, and it's right here. But he lives, actually, let me show you where he lives. He lives at he lived at 10512 Infirmary Road. In that house, right there. So a man who was reported missing from the area of the 10,500 block of Infirmary Road, Mantua Township. Joseph L. Little, Joe Mullins, 57, was last believed to be in the area at 4:30 p.m. Friday. Anyways, thank you guys for, like the people that stick around, and even you, Cindy, you're still here, I think. I appreciate you guys being here and, actually saying yes when I say, do you guys want me to cover this? So thank you. And thanks for mods, for especially all of you guys who've gotten rid of the, on the comments. We've been bombarded by a troll using an online service to, post comment after comment after comment after comment on different videos. And they're all the same thing. They're repeated comments. So thank you for getting rid of those, etc. All right. And for the ones that come in here, I think what was going on in here is they exploited the fact that I wasn't using any of the, the chat delay, the members only thing. It's hard to do that. So, all right. Well, hey, I love you guys too. All right. Mullins is 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighs 140 pounds, has blonde hair and hazel eyes. He was last seen wearing a light brown waist-length Carhartt jacket, light gray sweatshirt, flannel-lined blue jeans, and black low-top tennis shoes. I was going to say, this must have been, so it's December in Ohio. Anyone with information and his whereabouts is asked to call the Portage County Sheriff. All right. Then we have some newspaper. Not sure what the hell happened to that. That looks horrendous. What's going on with that? Let me try that again. Okay, there we go. And then the next day in the paper, it says, a 57-year-old man found dead in Cleveland Monday morning was reported missing from Portage County Sheriff this month. Joseph Mullins. So this is, remember a minute ago, that was from the 19th is when he went missing. This is the 31st. So Joseph Mullins' body was discovered about 8:30 a.m. behind a mound of coal outside a commercial building on Stones Levee Road. Mullins' head and face were injured, said Detective Jennifer Kiashia, police spokeswoman. Mullins was last seen December 19th in Mantua, where he lived, according to the Portage County Sheriff Department. Hey, no problem, Jakey. All right. Or Jackie, or whatever, how you pronounce that. I don't know how to pronounce that. All right, here we go. Yeah, it's weird. I had to open that again. The Portage County Sheriff's Office in Cleveland police are investigating. It looks like that's basically the same thing, but it says Monday in the area of 601 Stone Levee Road. So that one's probably where I got the address. I see it right here. This is where he was found. So I guess what we could do is, where is that first part? Okay. Yeah, so this is where he lived and he was abducted from. And then, I think probably where it said body found. Yeah, so right in that general area. So it's about, 30 miles away. It's pretty crazy. The cause of death and how long Mullins had been dead when his body was found were not immediately known. That's what it says there. All right. Most of these are pretty small, but we're just kind of getting the... This is I think his obituary. That just tells you a little bit about him. Joseph L. Mullins, 57 years of age. Passed away Monday, December 29th. Born in Cleveland, Ohio on March 29th, 1957. Joe had been a resident of the Mantua area the past 30 years and had presently been employed at the Portage Tile and Marble in Kent. Joe was an avid BMX racer, and at age of 50, he won his first place trophy in BMX racing. 50 Joe will always be remembered by his family for the love he had for his children and all animals. Joe started each day ready to dance and sing to music with a beat. On July 10th, 1992, he married Jodi Mullins, who survives at home. Also surviving are his children, Robert Markham of Mentor, Andrew Rayson, and John Paul Rayson, both of Montana, and William Rayson of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. His siblings, Lynette Morrison and George Tiller, both of West Virginia, and Dennis Mullins. Right. Anyway, so it goes on and on and on there. Sounds like he was a pretty cool dude. You know, you don't look at that and think, wow, why would somebody need to... This one said, and then this was an article in the paper 2 months after that, and it says, why has the Record Courier, that's the newspaper, not published a follow-up on the cause of death of Joseph Mullins of Mantua? Should the community be worried about a possible killer? That is being investigated by both the Cleveland Police Department and the Portage County Sheriff's Office. We will publish information as soon as it's available, apparently, what they answered. It says right here. That's their answer, that it's being investigated by the Cleveland Police Department. See, they're frustrated too, right? Like, why aren't you... Because it doesn't get talked about again, all right? It does, and then we move over to, like, 2022 in an actual article. Loved ones hope for justice in the 2014 Ohio murder of Joseph Mullins. I fight hard for my victims because I know what it's like. 8 years ago, on the morning of December 20th, 2014, Lynette received a call from her eldest brother that brother, 57-year-old Joseph Mullins of Portage County, Ohio, was missing. They had searched for him all night, Lynette told Dateline. They wanted to know if I knew where he was or if I had heard from him, but Lynette hadn't heard from Joseph. I knew something was wrong, Lynette said. 9 days later, Joseph's body was found in Cleveland. Lynette told Dateline that despite their 11-year age gap, she and Joseph were extremely close. He got up in the morning dancing, and we went to bed dancing, Lynette said. He was a bubbly personality in life. According to Lynette, Joseph is originally from Ohio but moved to West Virginia after their mother and Lynette's father got married. My dad was originally from West Virginia, and I guess he was in Cleveland for work, Lynette said. We met my mom, and they got married, and then soon started a family. She said the now blended family of 8 moved back to her father's home state of West Virginia. Let me see. According to Joseph's wife, December 19th, 2014. You want to see something crazy, though? Look at this. We'll get to that in a second. But, like, here's his Facebook page. I mean, he made a post on December 18th, 2014. Watch this. It sounds great, you know. I mean, who the hell knows what... Let's see what this was. That's not there anymore. That's interesting. Why isn't that there? It's a private video now. That's weird. Huh. Anyways, that's 2018. 2014 on December 18th is what I meant to say. Isn't that crazy? Like the next day, he posted all the time too. Here's one on the 13th. There's pictures of him, the 13th, you know, all kinds of stuff. I wonder if he was trying to say something in that. Why does he have that one pinned location there? I don't know. Anyways, something to look at. Joseph's wife told Dateline that she believes he may have gone out to the garage thinking that the neighbor had come to get the tools and that he was surprised by people he didn't know. So she set up above December 19th. Started out like any other day. She said Joseph went to work that morning and returned to their home in the Portage County, Ohio. He came home and was expecting friends to come over, his wife recalled. He was going to borrow some tools. Joseph's wife told Dateline that she initially wasn't alarmed when she returned home from work that evening and her husband wasn't there. It was weird that he hadn't called or left a note or anything, she said, but it wasn't weird between him helping his cousin redo his house and his wife redoing their dog lot. And he wasn't home. Joseph's wife said she began to grow worried around 9 p.m. I started calling his friend to see if he was still there because I had brought home dinner. She said he hadn't seen him. Joseph's wife told Dateline that she immediately called the sheriff's office and began searching for her husband. By midnight, we had all kinds of sheriffs and dogs and law enforcement, she said. First thing, when it got daylight, we had helicopters and everything else. But there was no sign of Joseph, according to the Ohio Attorney General website. It said that the Portage County Sheriff's Office responded to the Mullins resident during the early morning hours of December 20th, 2014. Mullins' wife was reporting that she arrived home on the previous evening, Thursday, 12/19/2014, at approximately 9:30 p.m. It goes on to say that when she arrived home, she found indications that Joseph had been there but was missing, and that with the assistance of family friends, Mrs. Mullins attempted to contact Joseph by his cell phone but was unsuccessful. Lynette told Dateline that she drove to Ohio from West Virginia shortly after finding out about her brother's disappearance. I said, I'm going to go look and do something, Lynette told Dateline. Everybody was searching for him. According to the Ohio Attorney General's website, a search of the area did not locate Joseph. Authorities also searched within the Mullins residence during the investigation. Blood was found by the detached garage that belonged to Joseph. A blood smear was found on a bedspread in the master bedroom that also returned to Joseph. Kind of weird. It has some little similarities to, Guthrie. He was abducted and there's blood there. The Ohio Attorney General website said, despite the spots of blood found, nothing in the house appeared to be missing or disturbed. Again, similar. Lynette said that she knew her brother wouldn't just up and vanish. I kept saying he would not have done this willingly, Lynette told Dateline. Remember, that was how they said it at the beginning of the Guthrie case. Oh, did she just walk away? He wouldn't have done that. Joseph's wife also told Dateline her husband wouldn't just disappear. It wasn't like him to not be on his phone to tell me where he was. They were right. On December 29, 2014, Joseph Mullins' body was found in the warehouse district of downtown Cleveland. His death was determined to be from blunt force trauma, the Ohio Attorney General website states. I didn't think there was a spot on his body that hadn't been beat on, Lynette told Dateline. There was a lot of blood. Joseph's wife told Dateline she was told about her husband's death while she was in the sheriff's department. They asked me about identifying Joe and identifying marks, and then they told me that they thought Cleveland had found him. Lynette said she was at Joseph's house when she got the news of her brother's murder. I seen his wife come in, and she was just crying. Dateline reached out to Portage County Sheriff's Office for additional details, but has yet to receive a response. Lynette Morrison said she will continue to fight for justice. All right. So you got that. That was the 2022. Then there's this one. 2025. Under investigation. Let me see if I can. Let me go to this Project Cold Case first, though. So this is their write-up on it. That's him right there. Joseph Mullins loved building things and was always tinkering with whatever materials he could get his hands on. Let me see down here. He was a good BMX bike rider. One of Joseph's projects included building a treehouse in the backyard of his home in Portage. I think that's what I saw pictures of that. Actually, I think those are in the that other article. Let's go to that one really quick. Felt like in one of these it showed those pictures. Weird. I don't know where it went. Let's just go to the part that talks about the case. My stomach just keeps going. Okay, on December 19, 2014, Joseph was reported missing from his home in Portage County, Ohio, according to the Ohio Attorney General. His wife had returned home the previous evening and discovered Joseph not at home. She had initially thought he had gone over to his friend's house, as it wasn't uncommon, but when she called the friend to ask where Joseph's whereabouts, the friend immediately came over and they started to search for Joseph. Lynette received a call the morning of December 20th from the Portage County Sheriff's Office asking if she had spoken to Joseph in the past 24 hours. It was 10 days of pure hell on earth, Lynette recounted. I blew up the phone of anyone who would talk to me. I drove 5 hours from my house to his 6 times during those days, hoping for answers. During the investigation, according to the Ohio Attorney General, let's see, hold on. Yeah, that's right. That's the Rocky Mountain High song. I actually saw the word almost heaven, and then I thought, wow, that sounds like what that song, West Virginia. Anyways, during the investigation, according to the Ohio Attorney General, blood was found in the detached garage and belonged to Joseph. A blood smear was also found on the bedspread in the master bedroom, which also matched Joseph. However, besides Joseph's keys and phone, nothing else was missing. So in his case, his keys and phone were gone. And there was no evidence of forced entry. So that's a lot of this stuff's kind of similar, but in Guthrie's case, her phone and keys were there. Joseph was found dead 10 days later on December 29, 2014. His body was found 30 miles, that's what I was saying, from his home in the Warehouse District of downtown Cleveland, abandoned near the Cuyahoga River. It was reported twice, first by a homeless man who had gotten the address wrong the day before, and the second time, the next day, from a coal barge worker saying they found a dead body. Joseph was determined to have been killed from blunt force trauma with injuries to his head and face. I wonder how they can determine how long he was dead. Lynette received the news of her brother's death when she was at the home. There's no way to express it, she said. When you suffer that loss, it changes you. Lynette felt as though she had to walk away from God, she said. Since her brother's death, Lynette has become a victim's advocate for her sheriff's department in West Virginia. She turned her grief... the case is in Ohio, but some of the family lives in West Virginia. She turned her grief into passion to become an advocate and assist people who needed it. Let me go to that one see if there's anything extra in this one.
It is 5:06 and murdered.
In our latest under investigation, Joseph Mullins' death.
December 19th, 2014. Joseph Mullins' wife returns home in Ravenna, but Joseph is gone. The next day, Portage County deputies find blood.
It all turned out to be Joseph Mullins' blood.
10 days later, Joseph's body is discovered nearly an hour away in Cleveland's Warehouse District. He died from blunt force trauma. 2 scenes, little evidence.
We didn't have a lot of physical evidence at the scene, other than that little bit of blood evidence.
That makes answers hard to find.
There isn't a...
that is similar to Nancy Guthrie, right? Like, there's blood of Nancy, but there's nothing from the other.
The residence where Joe Mullins disappeared from, that I don't look and I don't remember Joe Mullins and remember the case. It bothers us as investigators. I can't imagine how horribly it bothers the family.
Joseph was 57. He loved BMX bikes, Jeeps, and being a stepdad. Little sister Lynette says they had a close bond.
Joe was my hero. He really was.
She remembers the brother who taught her to drive.
Joe was.
I mean, it is kind of similar because he's likable. You know,
he was hard. He could be hard, and he didn't sugarcoat it. It was like, "Suck it up, Buttercup. Let's go." You know. But he got me through it. You know, he got me through it all.
Years pass, but the pain stays.
A person goes in limbo, sort of.
Yes, in that word. See, they're in limbo just because it isn't solved, but they'd be in way worse limbo if they hadn't even found him.
Or I have. I used to be in church. I was a Christian. I was a Sunday school teacher. But I walked away because you can't have hate in your heart.
Yeah, that's kind of sad. Let's see what this one is.
Coming up on 536, a decade after.
That the same story? Looks different.
Some physical evidence that we will be sending off for testing. We're hoping that between some of the interviews we're conducting right now with people and that physical evidence that we're able to come up with something substantial.
So you would send it off to like an outfit?
Well, this is weird. We don't know enough about it. Maybe I should get a hold of the brother. I mean, we just don't know enough about like what was really going on. They haven't really said any of that.
Yes. We have access to various labs, both on the state level and federal level, that we can send items off to. Not all labs do the same testing.
While evidence moves forward, so does the advocacy. National nonprofit Project Cold.
Well, she just said he was, Chris, so it wasn't really a vibe. She just said that he...
Cold Case is helping raise awareness and push for justice.
Families reach out to us, so they see value in our organization through our awareness campaigns and through our advocacy. And we really create a bond with families.
Since 2015, they've supported hundreds of families facing unsolved murders.
There's, an estimated 340,000 unsolved homicides in the United States.
It kind of makes... I think there's got to be some... there's a reason somebody... I mean, what if he was cheating and he was with some other woman, and then the husband exacted, because that's something like... Who would get the guy and then beat him and beat him and beat him and beat him unless there was something they did that just made you incredibly angry and mad, something like that. I don't know.
So there's a lot of...
I mean, there's no evidence of that. I'm just saying, what is there out there that would make somebody beat somebody like that? All right, something personal, right?
Families out there that are hurting.
One of those families is Joseph's. His sister Lynette is now a victim's advocate.
No deathbed. I'm keeping that promise.
If you were to get that call, and they said, you know what, we figured it out, what would that mean to you?
I pray that I get that call.
Yeah. Let's see. I guess the last one in here is just their little on their website. Portage County Sheriff's Office responded to the Mullins residence during the morning hours of 12/20/2014. Mullins' wife was reported that she arrived home on the previous evening at approximately 9:30 p.m. hours. When she arrived home, she found indications that Joseph had been there but was missing. With the assistance of family, friends, Mrs. Mullins attempted to contact Joseph by his cell phone, but was unsuccessful. Search of the area did not locate Joseph during the investigation. Blood was found by the detached garage. I think that's interesting. I remember seeing a garage when I was looking at that picture. Off. Yeah, probably. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Like, you get taken out of this home. Why are you way over there? I mean, I guess that's where you would have parked, though, right? If somebody abducted him, they would have driven right down there. So then, of course, then you would have him walking over here bleeding and then put him into the car. Right? So he was already bleeding in the house, the smeared blood. And then there's blood evidence by this because they pulled the car into there. It's the closest spot to the house. See that? So, you know, the house, they probably took him out the back and then parked the car right there. And then put him in it. Anyways. Well, that's all I got on that one, you guys. But hopefully something's coming down on this. They found his body all the way over in... Oh, it's funny. I looked him up on that website, and he had visited here at one point. For some reason, he was at this house. At some point, his phone was here. You know, whoever's house that is. And then he visited a place over here on another one of his phone numbers. The location was right here at this place. You know? So wouldn't that be interesting if there's some connection to wherever he was at one of these homes to that, you know? He has two different locations his phone was at. Interesting to see who lived at that particular address. It's so just down the road from where he lived, and then it's towards Cleveland. Find that mildly interesting. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. I think that's going to do it for me tonight. Thanks, everybody, for being here. All right. Let's see. We've got Wild Bill Wassman, Timothy Cecil. He did a wave attempt. Then we had Sheryl Bullock. So we had Wild Bill Wassman, Timothy Cecil, Sheryl Bullock, Alley Cake, Wild Bill Wassman, then Sassy Squatch, Rach, and then Horse Teeth, Cow Teeth, Wind in Her Eyes, and welcome all the new members. Wind in Her Eyes became a new member. Then Jim Lawn, Tony kicked in my back door last night. I'm not sure what that meant. I wasn't sure if that was an innuendo of some sort. And then Wild Bill Wassman gifted a membership. Then Alley Cake. Then Jim Lawn. Then Sandy Shirley. Then Jim Lawn did a cat eye donation. We haven't seen many of those. Then Sassy Squatch. And then we had Marty over here on the Buy Me a Coffee. And then Sandy Shirley with a PayPal. All right, got that. Okay. Now back over here. Then Sandy Shirley. Alley Cake. Then Wild Bill Wassman. Then Chris O'Connell. Yeah, that's right. Well, look what Jim Lawn. Take that a little differently, what Jim typed in up there. You know? He said, well, you'll just have to read it yourself. And then we have Sandy Will. Yeah, it is pretty sad. And then Alley Cake. What was the case you were talking about? I think I did make a folder on that one. Which one did you say? Did you go over Tyler Bojanowski? I do have a folder on it. They already had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different yeah, I think when I was looking at it, it felt to me like he just, I don't know. I'll have to go look at it again, but I remember thinking it sounds like he just kind of went in the water or something. I don't remember actually now, but I did have it. You got it? My stepfather is a donkey. All right. So we had, wait, let me go up here. So it was Chris O'Connell, then Luis Valos, then Chris O'Connell, Sandy Will, Alley Cake, Wild Bill Wassman, then Scotta Flight, and then Wind in Her Eyes, then Sassy Squatch, then Chris O'Connell, and Shinobi Business, Sandy Shirley, Wild Bill Wassman, T. Morrill, then Bengal Cat gifted one, then Karen gifted one, then Sandy gifted one. Then you guys got to the number where I gifted 5, and then we had Mama for coffee, and Jim Lawn right at the end there. All right, you guys. Well, thank you for hanging out and watching another 3-hour and 13-minute show. I always like doing those cold ones at the end for some reason. I mean, that seems like it's better to do at the end too, because people, if you start off with that, they leave because you're not covering the case that they want to cover. But well, I don't know. I'm just still trying to figure out stuff. I'm not really a marketing type person. I just like to do the shows, you know. Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, it sounds like it was weird because I saw a post on Facebook. That's the one I read from the brother. So now I feel like I want to talk to the brother and see what the deal is, you know. But anyways, thanks everybody. Really appreciate it. Thanks for being here, and thank you guys for reaching the goal again. Very cool. Yeah, we're just trying to get to the end of the month, see where the hell we're at. But at least we've already got 1,500 given out already. That's right, the original freaks. Well, there's still 220 watching. That was pretty good for that stuff. But anyways, and thanks for sending me the Chris Stew, the video on, you know, Coburger, whatever. You know, it was you know, good to see him in there. Trying to get his driver's license, but after that it was like, yeah, I don't need to watch the 20 minutes. Okay, so anyways, thanks everybody, see you tomorrow, and as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now, and during this whole time I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, like rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. I'm gonna get you.
Was Richard.
If you try and play me like an old projector, crime sector is my nectar.
Professor Gray is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector. And I'm always gonna be a pop protector. Full reflector, interceptor. And I mean a respecter with a vector on his vector. With a spectrum. Just remember, injection. I have no agenda. I'm never tender. And I'll send it to you straight without a blunder. And in the end, I'm gonna send you on a mission to the village of
Yeah, so I'll just get right
What
back to
in
work.
God's name was that?
That was terrible.
My God.
Everybody. Thank you for watching Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube, where we cover true crime using logic, reason, common sense, and a pesky thing called facts, which many YouTubers fail to use. Thank you very much for watching. And, as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.
Correct. It's the house.